Hello! It's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. It's a brand new week. I'm about to get a brand new delivery, so let's finish up the last one. It's time for issue 42, our paint issue, with two new paints, Coelia Greenshade and Carnage Blue. So into the magazine then, we have a paint guide on how to use our new paints. It's not a big one, so pretty much just done on 4 models. 8 models if you count the fact that you're doing all 5 barb gaunts, but yeah, it's only really applied to 4 different versions of models throughout the collection. We have a read article all about the Green Tide. We learn about the power of the War. We also look at technology in the 41st millennium and how it differs from race to race. Finally, we have Bonds of Honor Part 10 as a story page for the Silver Templars. Then we're looking at core rules again as we look at example battlefields before we are introduced to 2 brand new missions as well as the page for the Dark Zealots Combat Patrol. So these are the paints we get. Coelia Greenshade, a nice green shade that's perfect for quite a few things. Orc Skin is the main one we're going to be using it on, as well as weapon glow effects, brain effects and smog as well. Carnage Blue, we're not using this issue, but we will see it put to use on 2 of our combat patrols at least, in the form of our Space Marines and our Chaos Space Marines. Speaking of the Chaos Space Marines and the Dark Zealots, they'll be going to the field of battle as we play Forward Outpost for the first time using their latest 2 combat patrols, the Eldar and the Chaos Space Marine. I will apologise if there's any noise in the background. It's boiling hot at the moment and I've got my fan on to help keep the studio cool. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive into the magazine. But before we do, don't forget to do all the usual. Like this video if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and drop me a comment down below. As usual, love hearing back from you guys. Let me know how you're getting on in your hobby, what you're up to now, what your future plans are. Drop it all down below and we'll have a friendly little conversation. Finally, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything you need, from paints to models to even collectible icons as well. They have a huge variety of stock, so check them out. There's a link in the video description, or they have the physical store if you want to go down and check these items out in person. So, as usual, links in the video description down below. Right, let's head to the table and we'll apply Coelia Greenshade to our models. So here we are for the first time with issue 42. So it's only a paint issue, so there's not a lot for us to do. We do have a new shade paint in the form of Coelia Greenshade, and that's the colour we're going to be applying in our paint guide. We also get a new layer paint just to help give a bit of value to the issue. We're not going to be using it, but this is going to be useful for a lot of our blue armoured Space Marines, so our Ultramarines, and even some of our black armoured models as well. So put those off to the side, ready to use. We'll adjust the camera and we'll take a quick look at the paint guide before we put it into practice. So into issue 42 we go. So we have paint updates to your models, read articles on the Orcs, the power of the War, technology of the 41st millennium, Bonds of Honor Part 10. Then for our play article, we have example battlefields, Combat Patrol Chaos Space Marines, Scorched Earth mission, and Sweeping Raid mission as well. So our paint guide then for the issue on updates to your models. Follow this guide to learn how to update the existing models in your collection with your new shade paint, Coelia Greenshade. The other paint that you received in this issue, Carnage Blue, will be used in the future guides. Read through the steps below before you get started, then gather your models and have fun painting. So first off, we're painting the skin on our Orc and Grot here from our Orc Warboss model. We're then painting the shade over the brains and tubes of our Barb Gaunts, the smoke of our Psychophage, then the sash and the spearhead of our Farseer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're not putting this shade to a lot of use at the moment, but in the future issues when we've got a lot more Orc stuff to do, we'll be using quite a lot then. Then we have a gallery of our models before and after shade, and yeah, they do look a lot better. The orc skin's kind of nice, but I do prefer a bit of a darker skin for my orcs personally. I like to think the bigger and tougher orcs have really tough, gnarly, dark green skin from years of fighting, and the lighter shades of green are more for like the Gretchens and the younger boys, if you have ages in orcs. I don't think you do. But we'll be learning about a bit of orcs in our read articles. So, right, I'll bring the paint desk in and we can put it into practice. So here we have all of our models. I won't be painting all of these guys on camera, but I will be painting all of them at the same time. But we have our Barb Gaunts, our Orc War Boss, our Psychophage, and finally our Farseer. So, at first we'll start with the Orc War Boss, as the guide says, and we'll work our way through the Tyranids and then the Eldari. So, the first thing we need to do to our new paint is give it a good shake, make sure that the colour is well mixed. Then crack the pot. And we'll get a puddle of this on our palette. Yeah, brush a bit of a clean. And we're ready to apply. So we'll apply to our War Boss first of all. So we'll shade this all over the green skin. And don't forget to get our grot as well. And there we go, green shade applied all over our Orc War Boss's skin. And we'll leave that to dry and he'll look pretty good. Now onto our Tyranid models. So fresh puddle of Coelia Greenshade ready. And our first model to start on is our Barb Gaunt. Nice easy job, just running this into recesses around the brain and the tendrils on the parasite on the back. If you want a bit of a darker finish to the model, just wait for your first layer to dry and come back in with a second, but it should look pretty good with just the one. And the next model we're painting is our Psychophage, and we're going to be doing all of the smoke on top here. So give this a good coat. And there we go, Coelia Greenshade is applied to our Tyranid models. And yeah, they're looking really good. So he'll look nice once I put him with the others that I painted. So now we'll move on to our Eldari model. So finally onto our Farseer. We've only got a little area to paint, so you want to be careful as we want to get the shade on the sash. Be careful not to get any on the inside of the robe. And then we're going to paint the spear tip as well. I've already given mine a Nuln Oil shade. If you have done that, you may want to go back with a lead belcher just to give it a brighter finish. But yeah, there we go. I think that does look pretty good anyway. And there we go, just waiting for the shade to finish drying, but we have all of our models updated, and that is it for this video. So, a bit of a short one, makes up for last week's being quite a long one, as we had to both build and paint our Orc War Boss. But yeah, our model's definitely looking a lot better, a lot closer to completion now, and we'll hopefully in the next few issues be ready to start learning about highlighting. So yeah, looking forward to the future paint guides, as they should be coming up to a pretty good Tabletop Plus level now, so I'm looking forward to that. Sadly, we don't get to see Calgar Blue in use, but we will be very soon, as we'll most likely be highlighting the Ultramarines and our Chaos Space Marines in a future issue. We got our basing paint issue next, so it won't be then, but hopefully when we next get a set of shades, which I've been told are apparently going to be as silver and brown highlights, I think it was. Or, yeah, I think it's Baylor Brown and Stormhost Silver, so that's going to be apparently our next paints after this. So yeah, looking forward to that, as we'll be able to start putting a lot of highlights on a lot of our models. Alright, so there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this video, I hope you found the paint guide useful, and I hope your models are looking a little closer to finish like mine. So all what's left for me to do is say thank you all very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on more Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.